Hey Sanjeeb, very good, very good. You cannot log in at my Centennial in Centennial. Really? You're not able to? Um, right now, I am logged into Centennial. I did not try my Centennial today, but let me try.
Hi, Anderson.
Yes.
Yeah, so this problem is coming last 30, 40 minutes, and I have a talk with other guys. They're getting also some same problem, a couple of guys.
Got it, got it. So, yeah, so my Centennial seems to be down, but eCentennial is working fine. So, if you just type, let me go, because I think that we are validated via my Centennial. Let me see. Maybe I was already validated. Let's see. Yeah, that's. I think I was already logged into eCentennial before, so I did not get redirected to my Centennial. But yeah, because yeah, if I try in another browser that I'm not, then I cannot see it. Okay, okay, they might be working on that. Okay, somebody must have already have reported this. I still can see it because I'm already in eCentennial. So the problem seems to be my Centennial, not eCentennial. But I guess that you cannot log in without to eCentennial without going to my Centennial. Anyway, um, let's if I need to share files that are located on eCentennial, I'll share them via either via Padlet or via Slack. Okay, so we will make this work even though we may not have eCentennial available. Okay.
Yeah, that looks good. And if you can share the link, I think you already shared the link through Outlook. So they'll get access to your class through the link, Zoom link at
To the Zoom link. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, because people can join still
Oh, I see. Because they
after
don't
logging
have.
their email. Yeah.
I get it. I get it. So let me see how. Because you are able to access email, correct?
Yeah, I can remember you mailed us the link, so I can even write the.
Got it, got it. So let me copy the link here. So let me see it. One
Yeah.
second. So actually, if you go to Slack, we have the links. Do we have a links thing there? We should have. Okay. No. Okay, so let me get the link here. So if by any chance anyone that you know is having trouble getting through, here's the Zoom link. I'm gonna add to Padlet as well, just in case. I'm gonna paste a bunch of links here just so, let's see, Padlet. Okay, so Zoom. And here is the Padlet link as well. Good morning, Siranjit. Yeah, so we don't have too many people right now.
Is this same link which is posted on the news feed?
Yes, yes, it's the same link. It's just that someone.
But when I click on that link, it opens me in Zoom app.
Yes, it will. And it's the same one. I'm just doing that because I think it was Sanjeeb asked that maybe some other people are having problems coming in because they don't have the link and they cannot access my Centennial right now. Seems to be, yeah, my Centennial seems to be down. So if you know anyone that is having problems, again, just share the link. In any case, this will be recorded. So yeah, let's keep moving forward. And let me see here. Yeah, my Centennial is down, Samira. Yeah, so So again, let's keep moving forwards, and I guess that I'm just gonna send a quick note to the students just to let them know that this is the link in case they don't have it easily available. Let me give me just one quick second here. So let me see. This is section 3. And let's see here. Okay, so great. So I just send a note to everyone just in case they don't have. Anyway, oh, I get it, Samira. So you got from mobile. Got it. Okay, great. So again, thank you very much for sharing that on Slack too. Great. Great. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for helping everyone. So, okay, so welcome to our second week. I hope that everybody is doing fine. I hope that the week is going well for everyone. Seems that again my centennial is down, but we're gonna make this work with what we have right now. So today, what is it that we're gonna be doing today? Okay, so today, well, let's step back for a second. Hopefully you had a chance to submit your bonus number 2. If by any chance you could not submit because my centennial is down, I will extend the deadline until the end of the day today. So I'll do that a little bit later, just in case if you got caught up on my centennial being down. Okay, so I'll make sure that I extend that. But hopefully you had a chance to have a look. The idea was that you could come to this class having watched and practiced the first 2 videos of the Parinvites exercise. Parinvite is a light introduction to MVC. With Parinvites, you go through the basic building blocks of the entire MVC framework. Okay? So it gives you an idea of the different components of MVC. Now, it's just a general application, a very basic one. Of course, you're gonna go deep in each one of the different aspects of that application as we go through the course. But Parinvites, the idea is to give a quick introduction and a quick overview from start to finish on how to put together an MVC application, okay? A few things that I want to mention that are slightly different from the video, okay? You may have gotten into some troubles if you follow the videos 100%. So I'm going to start with that. So let me open here Visual Studio. And by the way, I have Padlet open. I'm checking the chat. So I'm going to run. Let me just confirm here. Yes. First off, I'm going to demonstrate what is it that we are working towards. I'm going to run the final version of Parinvites, how it will look like. Okay. So I have the source here, the entire source. Okay, so this is the first view, the index view. Okay, we have a few words in here. Good morning, because we are in the morning part of the day, so it recognizes that automatically. Then you can click the RSVP link now. We can put some information here. And we can submit the form. So this little application is just to provide an RSVP to a party, whether you are going or not. In this case, I said that I will be going. I'm gonna submit. It goes to a thank you view. I can click to see who's coming to the party. Okay, I can go back to home and I can do this once again. I can keep doing this and it will keep adding to the list here. Okay. And oops, I have to put an answer here. Okay. And here we have another person. So again, it keeps going like that. Okay. So with that done, what I want to show is some initial things that you need to be aware, you need to be mindful whenever you are creating a new MVC application using Visual Studio. Okay, so I'm gonna close this here. I'm gonna grab a new, I'm gonna start like I'm creating a brand new project. Okay, so I'm gonna go File, New Project. The first thing that you have to do is you have to select ASP.NET Core Web Application. If you have not done this before, you won't have this option available yet under recent project templates. So you have to type in, you have to say ASP.NET Core. Make sure that you get the C# one, not the other one. And here it is, ASP.NET Core Web Application. Select that one, click Next. Then you give it a name for the project. You may want to keep the same one, the same name for the solution. Okay. Then you hit Create. Now this is where you have to be very careful to select the correct options for this course. Okay. So there are three things that you need to do here. First one, to pick the framework. During this course, we're going to be working with Framework 2.1, okay? ASP.NET Core 2.1. But that is why aren't we using the latest one? Well, first of all is that the overall differences between the latest versions of .NET Core, the general differences, they actually, in general, they are the same. What may be a little bit different are maybe the name of some methods, maybe the number of parameters of certain methods, maybe what used to be optional now is required, maybe the parameters change a little bit, maybe the name of some methods change a little bit. That's okay. That's not super important, to be honest with you, because I don't want you to be memorizing the name of commands, the name of namespaces. I want you to understand the high level overview of how to work with MVC, but of course we go down to the code level and make the implementation here. So the implementation details might be slightly different from one version to the another one, but the general overview of how to work with MVC in C# in .NET Core is the same. So we're going to be using ASP.NET Core 2.1. This is very important. Ritesh, yes, we know that Centennial is down. I get it. So,
sir, I forgot that my class is first of that website. So I was trying to open my Centennial.
Got it. No problem. Yeah, I'm sure that a lot of people are having the same problem. Okay?
Same here. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, let's just I think that we can carry on with the class, even though we may not have access to my Centennial right now. But if there are files that I need to share, I'm gonna share throughout the class, and I'll do that via Slack, via Padlet. Okay, we're gonna make this work. Okay. So as I was saying, three very important things. The first one, select the framework 2.1. you should be able to have at least 2.1 here, .NET Core 2.1. Second one, uncheck configure HTTPS. Uncheck that because HTTPS only really makes sense when you are deploying your application live. So in development time, while we are creating the system, while we're putting together the application, if you choose to use HTTPS, it may complicate things during development. You may get warning from browsers. It may not work that well. So uncheck this one so that we can ensure that we focus on MVC, not in details about HTTPS and things like that. We don't need to deal with that. So uncheck this. That's the second thing. The third one is use an empty template. Okay, important. Use an empty template. You may ask, Ederson, why are you using an empty template when we could use a web application template that comes with a model view controller? Well, guess what? Because you are learning right now. While you are learning, you need to understand the building blocks of an MVC application. When you select a ready-made template like this one, everything comes prepared and ready and given to you. You don't get to know the building blocks of an MVC application. Then, if something goes wrong, you don't know how to troubleshoot, you don't know what to look for. That's why we focus this course entirely on creating empty template, on using empty templates. Because again, you're gonna be practicing how to put the different elements of an MVC application together from scratch. Okay? You're gonna internalize that eventually later in other courses or in the industry, in the field, when you're working there. Yes, you can use templates because templates will speed up your development cycle, your development process. But while you are learning, we need to do it in the harder way because you need to understand the building blocks. Okay? So I want you to focus on that. With that said, if you follow the video 100%, you may have already chosen 2.0 version. You may have already done that. If you have done that already, there is a way that you can revert and you can change to 2.1, but I don't recommend you to change that because the code that was originally created is already based on 2.0. So you're gonna have a problem there. I'm gonna repeat this. If you have already created your pod invites with version 2.0, it will be problematic to convert it to 2.1. My recommendation is start a new pod invites from scratch, selecting the correct framework version. Okay? Now, to make it even easier, I'm gonna share with all of you right now via Padlet, via Slack, the source codes of video 1 and video 2 from pod invites. So you can use it, you can download, and you can use them as a starting point for the next videos, for the next steps that you're gonna be taking with pod invites. Okay? So give me 1 second and I'll share them with you. Yes, the lectures are all recorded, okay? Sanjib, everything is recorded, everything is up here, but thank you for the reminder. It's always good to have a quick reminder just in case, okay? I appreciate that. Okay, so let's see.
Sir, today is a big benefit that we are using the Zoom.
Say that again?
Today is a big benefit we are using the Zoom, not the MySentinel.
Yes, I appreciate. Yeah, I'm also enjoying Zoom. Actually, I'm enjoying Zoom because I used to use GoToMeeting. I'm actually enjoying Zoom quite a lot, and yeah, so I'm also glad about that. Okay, so I'm going to Padlet here. if I can find the window. So here are the two videos, sorry, are the two source files from Padlet, and I'm also gonna share them on Slack. So general. Okay, sometimes I get confused by. Yep, so actually I have already shared that there. Yeah, I did. I may have done this already, thinking that I was doing with another section. Well, it's already there. Anyway, so you can download them and use them as a starting point, okay? Now, here's what we're gonna be doing right now. Let's see. So I've already shown you. Oh, let me walk you through. So I mentioned about the framework, the templates, the solution. So let me just do a quick presentation about MVC, okay? It will be a quick one, and then we're gonna be working in groups very shortly. So let me maximize this, and we are getting to our week 2, not week 1. Sorry, let me fix this already here. Week 2. We're gonna be defining MVC. We spoke a little bit already about part invites, which is our introduction to MVC. And MVC, this is a formal definition of MVC. It stands for model, view, controller. We have those 3 components working together, communicating with each other to put our applications together. Now, MVC is not a technology. MVC is an approach to application design, okay? To how to put together an application. It's not a set of libraries, even though there will be libraries that will help us achieve it, but in general, MVC is an approach, not a technology. So you can have MVC in Java, in PHP, in all kinds of different languages out there. You have the same approach being applied to that language. And here you will not only learn the high-level overview and understanding of MVC, but you're going to be getting down and dirty working with C# and ASP.NET Core, okay, to implement it. So MVC is an application design model comprised of 3 interconnected parts. We have the data, which is the model. If we need to store data, if we need to retrieve data, we're going to be talking to the model. We have the user interface, which takes care of allowing the user to input information and allowing the user to retrieve information. We have the view, and then we have the controller. Controller is the one in the middle, getting information from model, sending information to the view, getting the view, sending it back to the client. So controller is like a traffic controller, an airplane traffic controller, an airport traffic controller. It controls, it receives messages, it directs messages, it grabs things from different components, it gives them to the other components, and it gives them finally back to the clients. So it's controlling the flow of information, the flow, how the application is flowing, okay? So we have those 3 beautiful components that are working together to build our applications. We have, again, that diagram that I said that you're gonna be sick and tired of it, and I mean it. But from now on, we're gonna be focusing more specifically in a small, not so small actually, but in a slice of this diagram. We're gonna be focused on the web application. This course is about web application development. So we're gonna be exploring how to put together this slice here, this web application. You can call it backend development. We're gonna be doing backend development here, even though we're gonna be touching a little bit in the front end as well, as you have seen already a little bit of that with party invites, but our focus will be in the web application part. Now, I'm going to expand that web application piece so you can see inside of it the different components. So the next slides, I will blow that up. I will blow up web application, and you're gonna see the details of that part alone. So look, we still have that diagram, but now web application has expanded, and now we can see what is it inside of it, what is there, okay? And those are the different components of our MVC application. And this entire course is about exploring step by step of this diagram. It will be all about this diagram, all about this flow of information here. Let me talk a little bit about this flow. So, as mentioned before last week, we have the client, which we're talking about browsers here. Okay, let me see here. Okay, so let me just give me 1 second. I just have some students asking for something there. Let me see if I can. I just want to see if it's someone from this class. No, it's not. Okay, so I can see this later. Okay, so just going back here. So we have the client, which is a browser, makes a request to our web application. Request comes in to the server. IIS, in our case, if we are using Windows, IIS is the web server application that keeps listening in the port. It gets a request. It can identify which application should respond to that request. It gives the application to our application. The application gets it here. Now, this URL, this request comes in the form of a URL. Okay? So, when our application gets this URL, it breaks it down into smaller parts to identify inside our application who should respond for that request. And the component that knows how to break down a URL is the router. The router is a component responsible in our application by the framework. We don't need to code a lot on that one. It's already, how can I say, pre-built. It's already done for us, but we just need to use it. The router is the one that understands the URL, breaks it down, and knows where to send the message to. And we have the controller. So the router will be able to identify which controller in our code is the one responsible to answer to that request. I'm going to give you an example. Let's open our party invites again. Look, in our party invites, we have our views, we have our controller, and when we run the application, the application will receive a request like this. But how does it know that this is the view that it should provide? Well, because there is something called a default controller. Home controller is a default controller. We don't have to have it in the URL. Now, look at this. When I click RSVP form, the URL changes. So it says, which one is the controller? Home. What is the action? RSVP form. So the component that knows how to break down this URL into smaller chunks, into small pieces, that knows which controller, which action is being called, is the router. The router does that. So the router breaks it down. It knows which controller it needs to call. It calls it. It knows which method it needs to call. It calls it as well. Okay? Now, with that request, maybe the controller needs some data. maybe the application, the client is requesting, let's say, for example, the information of students 310. So the controller says, okay, I need data. Where do I find data? The model is the one responsible for data. So controller says, model, give me the student information of student ID number 310. Model is the one that talks to the database, talks to the storage, gets the information, saves information as well. So whenever the application needs data, model is the one responsible for that. Okay, so going back to the controller, model give me all the details about students 310. Model goes to the database, model does its magic there, comes back with the entire information about the students, name, date of birth, courses, address, whatever it is. It brings back to the controller the information. Now the controller has the information about the students. What it should do? Well, we need to present that information. We need to put that information as a HTML page and send this back to the client. Who knows how to put together a nice web page? Who knows that? Anyone? Anyone there in... I'll get back to your question in a second, Andrew. But anyone can tell me which component here is the one responsible to put together a nice presentation to the client?
View.
That's a view. Exactly. View. That is the view. Thank you. So the controller says, here's the student information. View, take the student information and give me back a nice web page. That's what the view does. So the view gets the student information that came from the model, but it's given by the controller, and now gives it back as a beautiful web page. The controller will then give this back to the clients. Okay, and that's the entire cycle. And the whole purpose of this entire course is to get deeper into the details of each one of those elements. Okay, great. Let me see here. So there was a quick point here from Andrew. The router is software. The router, Andrew, is a library. Actually, it's software. It is software. In a way, everything here is soft. Oh, actually, I think that I know what you're talking about. Router, don't get confused. Router here with the internet router that we are used to have in our homes from our internet service providers. Router here is just a library component here in our application that knows how to deal with URLs. Okay? Good question there. I hope that makes sense, Andrew. Let me know. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so what I would like to do, I would like to give you a different perspective. I would like to play this video here. I'm gonna do as I did before. I'm gonna play close to my mic so you can listen to here. If you cannot listen well, I'm gonna paste the link on the chat on Padlet so you can listen by yourself as well. But it will basically go through similar steps as I have just gone through. So I'm gonna activate that.
Over the last...
Okay. So here's the video URL. I'm going to paste that on Padlet 2 just in case. Okay, 1 second. That's on Padlet, and again, it's up to you if you want to listen on your own or from my output here.
20 years, websites have gone
Over the last 20 years, websites have gone from simple HTML pages with a bit of CSS to incredibly complex applications with thousands of developers working on them. To make working with these complex web applications much easier, developers use different patterns to lay out their projects to make the code less complex and easier to work with. By far the most popular of these patterns is MVC, also known as Model View Controller. The goal of this pattern is to split a large application into specific sections that all have their own purpose. To illustrate each section, let's look at an example where a user is requesting a specific page from a server. Based on what URL the user is requesting, the server will send all the request information to a specific controller. This controller is responsible for handling the entire request from the client and will tell the rest of the server what to do with the request. It acts as a middleman between the other two sections, model and view, and should not contain very much code. The first thing that happens when a controller receives a request is it asks the model for information based on the request. The model is responsible for handling all of the data logic of a request. This means that the model interacts with the database and handles all validation, saving, updating, deleting, and etc. of the data. The controller should never directly interact with the data logic, and should only ever use the model to perform these interactions. This means that the controller never has to worry about how to handle the data that it sends and receives, and instead only needs to tell the model what to do and respond based on what the model returns. This also means the model never has to worry about handling user requests and what to do on failure or success. All of that is handled by the controller, and the model only cares about interacting with the data. After the model sends its response back to the controller then needs to interact with the view to render the data to the user. The view is only concerned with how to present the information that the controller sends it. This means the view will be a template file that dynamically renders HTML based on the data the controller sends it. The view does not worry about how to handle the final presentation of the data, but instead only cares about how to present it. The view will send its final presentation back to the controller, and the controller will handle sending that presentation back to the user. The important thing to note about this design is that the model and view never interact with each other. Any interactions between the model and the view are done through the controller. Having the controller between the model and the view means that the presentation of data and the logic of data are completely separated, which makes creating complex applications much easier. This is all just theoretical though, so let's look at an example of how this design handles a request. Imagine a user sends a request to a server to get a list of cats. The server would send that request to the controller that handles cats. That controller would then ask the model that handles cats to return a list of all cats. The model would query the database for a list of all cats and then return that list back to the controller. If the response back from the model was successful, then the controller would ask the view associated with cats to return a presentation of the list of cats. This view would take the list of cats from the controller and render the list into HTML that could be used by the browser. The controller would then take that presentation and return it back to the user, thus ending the request. If earlier the model returned an error instead of a list of cats, the controller would handle that error by asking the view that handles errors to render a presentation for that error. That error presentation would then be returned to the user instead of the cat list presentation. As we can see from that example, the model handles all the data, the view handles all of the presentation, and the controller just tells the model and view what to do. And that's all there is to the basic architecture of MVC.
Perfect. Okay. So, I hope this gave you a general understanding on how MVC works. Again, just a general one. I just want to highlight a few points here. One is that this model, those independent modules, model, view, controller, because model and view, they don't talk to each other directly. They may refer to each other, but they don't really talk directly to each other. This architecture promotes separation of concerns. There's one component only worried about data, which is the model. There is another component only worried about presentation, which is what the user sees. And there is another component that is only worried about coordinating data and view, just doing the general coordination here. Okay, so that's one of the key aspects of this architecture. Okay, the other one thing that I want you to note is that here this guy did not talk about a router. Okay, behind the scenes there is a routing component here. Okay, it's just that he decided not to mention it, but behind the scenes it is right around here as well. Okay, so let's go back here. Okay, so we had a look at this. Okay, so now I'm going to do something here. We're gonna be breaking down into breakout rooms. Okay, now I want to do something slightly different as compared to what we did last week. If you have some friends that you'd like to have the group together, just let me know in a private note here on the chat. Let me know the names of your group members. And again, this is not a group yet for the project. It's just a working group for this class, okay? But send to me in private if you have a preference. Oh, I would like to be working together with this person and this person. So send me that list of your members, 2 to 3 people, no more than 3 people, to be honest. So send me your little groups there so I can put you together in groups. That's one thing. The other thing is that, let me see here. So you're gonna be working together in groups. You're gonna be opening your questions from bonus 2, and in a group you're gonna be talking about your questions. You're gonna check if other people in the group may have an answer for you. So talk about your questions within a group. Each one will open your own questions and discuss. You can do this verbally. When I break out the rooms, you can share your screen. You can open your mics if you'd like to. Usually it's better if you can even open your webcams, you know, because when we are able to talk and to see people, the interaction becomes a little bit better. But that's fine if you don't have a mic. That's fine if you don't have a camera. That's fine. However, I'm just, I would say, encouraging you, if you have a mic, if you have a camera, that you interact like that, because it builds, it helps with communication, okay? But if you only have the keyboard, that's fine, just do the keyboard. But you can share your screen as well. I saw people in previous classes that they were sharing screens, they will have their cameras open. So I'll break out the rooms, you go through each one of your questions in the group. Any unanswered questions, you're gonna post them on Padlets so that after the group time is done, I can look at the questions and I can address them to the entire class, okay? But any questions that we're not able to solve within the group, post them on Padlet so we can work as a group and have a look at them. What else here? Also, the group work should take about 30 to 40 minutes. If you get done in your group before that time, stay in the group. Keep there, don't leave the group yet, because in my view, if you leave the group, I may think that you are having problems and I may want to put you back in the group, okay? So even though you may have finished the group work already, keep there, because then when the time is right, I will be the one breaking the groups apart and bringing everyone back to the same room, okay? But stay there while you are still within the time, and I will let you know when it's time to break apart. Actually, the breaking apart part, it's really up to me. In my view, I can close the rooms, the breakout rooms, and bring all of you back to the same room. Let me see if that's all. Okay, I see a lot of people are giving me some. So the number of people in the group, no, minimum 2, maximum 4 people. More than 4 doesn't work. So again, from 2 to 4, it's fine. Okay. Again, post and answer questions on Padlet. I'm gonna share Padlet link as well, just in case, if you don't have that there. Let me share this with everyone. Here's Padlet. Any questions about the dynamics of the group work? Any questions? Okay, so that's okay. Great. Okay, so and by the way, 11:20, if you need a 5 minutes break, by all means take the break, because you're gonna be doing the group work. I'll be taking the break at 11:20, from 11:20 to 11:25. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this as best as possible here. I'm gonna make the groups that have been requested, and so just give me a few seconds so I can organize this. I'll do something. Let me ask you a question, because I'm not sure what you see from your side on Zoom. When I send the Zoom link and you click it, do you have to log into Zoom to be able to join the meeting? How does that work for you? Do you have to log in? Let me know. No login? Okay. I say this because I think that I can pre-group people if you have a login to Zoom. Anyway, I'm gonna go through the process of putting the groups together here. I'll give you 1 second. Okay. I'm just taking the names here so I know which groups are the ones. Okay, great. The other ones, I'll just allocate you randomly. Okay, so let me open the breakout rooms. And by the way, I'll be dropping, sorry, you have an option to send me a note from your group, okay? I'll see that you need some help, so I can join your group and see how things are going there, okay? So there is a button there that asks for my help as the host. Okay, so breakout rooms, and let's do this manually. And you're gonna have, say, 8 rooms. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, okay. So let's do 8 rooms, create the rooms, and I'm gonna do some assignments here. So then okay, I'm opening the rooms now. I think that you need to click on join room or something like that. Let's see here. If you can still hear me, I see some people did not join yet. I'm quite sure that you need to click in a button that says join room. Okay, so I don't think it happens automatically. So again, I see a few people that have not joined the room yet.
यूज कर रहे टैगल को हम लोग दोनों में कोई आइडिया है
Tag helper ਕਿਹੜੇ ਵਾਲੇ ਕਹਿ ਲਾਈਕ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਪੈਸਿਫਿਕ ਨੇਮ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਹੋਏ ਸੀਗੇ ਵੀ ਜਿਵੇਂ ASP
Guys, just checking how you guys are doing.
Sure, sir.
Yeah, hi.
Oh, good, oh, good. Okay, so I only saw later the full all the list of names, so I added some people a little bit later, but hopefully things are progressing well. How is it working?
Okay,
It's going good,
yeah.
Awesome. Anything that I can help?
Maybe later because we have just started the discussion, so
Got it.
we'll discuss and let you know. Thanks
That's
a lot,
okay.
sir.
Yeah,
Awesome.
thank you, sir.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Sir, I want to move to room 2. So after that,
Got it. I'll move you there, Ritesh.
my
Okay?
laptop got like that, so I have to restart and I don't have any group right now.
Got it, Ritesh. I'm gonna move you to room 2, okay?
Sir, I was with the something groups and why I removed first?
No, okay. So here's the thing. Later, I saw that someone said that you are in their group. So again, which room do you want to go to? Ritesh?
Sir, any group like if it, any group I don't mind. I just only discussion group, right?
That's fine. So again, I don't know which one, what was one of the name of the people there in the group, because I don't remember initially.
Sanjeev and one
Samira, Sanjit?
Sanjeev.
So okay. So I'm gonna join you there, okay?
Okay.
So that's room 8.
Hello, Professor.
Hey. Okay, so how are things progressing?
Good.
Going good, Professor.
Awesome. How can I help?
Yeah. We have two questions. So first question is, what is the role of startup class in the ASP.NET? Because we are totally new to this ASP.NET and we don't know.
Got it. So the startup class, it's where everything gets started. It's where the framework gets started from. So it's I usually call this the plumbing of the application. It's where everything gets started from. It's where and I will go into more details about that as we go through the course. But for now, you can think of the startup class as just the name says. It's where everything starts from. It's where you can say that you want to use some services, some libraries. It's where the application gets initialized from. So for now, think of that in those terms and you are okay, because later we're going to discuss more about that, okay? In future, by no means this is the last time that you see the application. You're going to be diving deep into each one of the aspects, but for now, it's enough to think of as this is where everything starts from. It starts from here. The services, what I will be using the application, everything gets added within the startup class, okay?
Okay, it just seems like the forms, I think. In the forms, once we initialize the form and things like that.
It reminds me of that as well. That's true. It's where that's a good way to put it. It's where everything gets initialized, okay? Again, it's the infrastructure of your application. It's where everything starts from. And then from there, we are able to use routing. We are able to use MVC. It's the starting point.
Yeah. And second question is, what is the tag helper?
Tag helper. Okay, good question. So tag helper. Actually, this is a good question for me to address with everybody. But let me give you a preview. Tag helper is a library. You can think of it as a library that you add to the view imports, and then every view in the application will be able to use special tags in the HTML that will help you creating tags within your application. If you are using the help tag already, and if you open index.cshtml, you may look at the link to RSVP, and it may have a bold ASP-action. ASP-action is not a normal tag. It's not a normal attribute in a tag. It's a tag helper that's gonna help you to build in this case href in the link tags. Now let me ask you to do this. Take this question, post that on Padlet, so I can do a full explanation to the entire group. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Awesome.
And Professor, other question is, what is view bag?
View bag. Okay, so view bag is, you can think of it as a simple way to move to get information from the controller to the views. So I think that's in our example, in our part invites.
Yeah, that is in there in the first video.
Yes. So view bag is just an object that we can add values to it to easily send information from the controller to the view. Okay, so but again, it's a good question to put that in Padlet as well, so I can explain to everyone. But that's it. It's a simple mechanism to copy information from the controller into the view, to bring information from the controller to the view.
Get the presentation, right?
Yes, from the controller to the presentation, correct. Yes, it's another way to copy information, to move information from the controller to the views. Okay?
Okay, got it.
Awesome, but again, mention that there, because then I can bring that to the entire group. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome questions. Anything else?
No, Professor, that's it.
Awesome. Thanks so much for the questions.
Yeah, thank you so much, Professor.
Thank you.
Raul, I was just helping some students in a breakout. How, Raul, are you having any problems? Hello, just checking here how you guys are doing. Any difficulties?
No. Yeah,
Oh, good.
we're fine.
We are about to come back. Okay, so just a few more minutes and we will be rejoin the group. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Call the name of the page. That's all I can remember.
Hello,
yeah,
hello.
that's all I can remember.
Okay, but still, I am in a dilemma that how the framework will know.
Hey
that,
guys, how you guys doing?
Hi, Professor.
Hey, anything that I can help you guys?
Yeah, sure. A lot of things.
A lot of things? Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
So the first doubt was that, Professor, here we have in the ASP action, we are giving the view name, right? RSVP form.
Oh,
So how
sorry. This is not the view name. This is the action name. This is the name of the methods in the controller. So again, even though they may have the same name, but this RSVP form that you see right there is the action. It's not really the view name. It's the view. It's the
method name.
The method name. Yes, that's correct, Sanjit. Yes.
But how the framework will know that he has to go into the home folder and then open this form, this view?
Because of the name.
Because
here's the thing. Okay, so let me just. So, look, you are calling view, correct?
Yeah, correct.
So when you say view without any parameters, it's gonna call a view with the same name as the method.
Yeah. I totally get that, but I'm trying to say is how the framework will know that he has to go into the home folder and then this view.
Because the folder is called home, which matches the name of the home controller.
Okay. So
it's by convention. There is a lot of conventions when we are dealing with MVC and .NET Core. This is one of the conventions. You name the folders under view with the same name as the controller name without the keyword controller, just home.
Yeah, got it. So if I'm having the name as home of the controller, and if I'm having the folder of suppose the name of the folder is parent and not home, then this view won't get shown, right?
Correct. That's correct. So again, the folder name under views, it has to match the controller name.
Okay, correct. Got it.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah, completely. And another doubt which we all was having is the add tag helper. What is the use of this? We are not getting it properly.
Okay, so let's do this. For this one, put that on Padlet so that I can explain to the entire group, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Because that's something that I'll be covering there, but I would like to cover that with the entire group, okay?
Yeah, okay, I'll do it.
What is the Razor code? What is the Razor code actually? This is the Razor code?
The Razor, it's everything that you put in a view. Like, for instance, you see this block, this at model at the top, and then you have at curly braces layout equals to null. This is Razor. This is all Razor codes. Razor is very similar to C#. There are a few minor differences because here we mix HTML with scripting, but this is Razor. Razor is a scripting coding approach to using C#.
It's like a library. Is it a library?
Well, you can think of Razor as an engine that will parse this code and will understand what is HTML, what is C#, and how to output that. So Razor is this engine that processes this file, CS HTML, and knows what's code and know what's HTML. Okay? So, and for instance, this at curly braces, this is called a Razor block. So this is a block of code. This is called, again, a Razor block. At model, at the very top, it's called a Razor directive. So those go ahead.
We can say that it is a link between the data and the view.
Okay.
So the Razor knows that how to interpret the data and show it in the view.
Razor is not the one that does that, to be quite honest. Controller is the one that is sending the data to the view. Now, Razor. So, in different words, think of Razor as C#. It's C#,
Sir, it just defines the data, like to apply the data between the differentiate the data told to the web browser, like this the data of.
Okay, so don't confuse the Razor codes with what the individual components are doing. For instance, this component at the very top, at model, is just saying that this view is expecting a guest response. Just that. It's saying that, okay, get ready this view because you are expecting a guest response either as coming into the view or returning from the view back to the controller. So again, what this at model at the top is doing is just saying that this view is expecting, is built to handle a guest response. Now, here's the thing. You don't need to understand all of those components right away, everything at once, okay? Let me just say that because we're going to be diving deep into each one of those elements as we go through the course. Don't worry about that, okay? So this is not the last time that you're going to be talking about this. Again, there will be a lot of in-depth sessions that you're going to have about all those different things that you are asking, okay? So don't worry if you don't get all that I'm saying right now about Razor. There will be a full class just focused on Razor. There will be a full class just focused on model and on and on and on, okay?
Sir, my question is, like, in this class we are just overviewing like what we have to do, right?
In this class, we are just going through the general points from start to finish of a simple MVC application. Now, again, you're going to have questions about the different components, and some of them I'll be able to address them right away. Some of them we're going to leave them for that particular class that you're going to go deeper into that subject. Okay?
And one more doubt is we can have one or more here, right? Like we have imported the guest response model, but we can in complex project if we are having 2 to 3
one model. It's always
only one model.
Always one model. Now, there are strategies on how to handle multiple models in one single view. But again, you have to keep in mind that it's just one model, but there are other strategies to handle that kind of scenario, okay?
Okay, so if we are like we are having a complex layout in HTML and we are suppose getting data from 2 to 3 things, then we need to like do that the method that you said.
Yes, because and I'm gonna just give you a preview of that. So what we do in those cases, we create a new model that is a combination of all those three. Stick with your example.
Okay. Yeah,
we create a fourth model that is actually a combination of all
the
of
three
them.
models.
Yes.
Like
yes.
we want from 5 attributes, we want 3 from the first one, 2 from the second, then we can combine all that in the fourth
something like that, something similar to that. Okay.
And one last doubt from my end was that when I created the project, we have some stuff which we deleted, like the hello world line. But I guess it was because of the framework that I choose, but I was having some endpoints issue. App.use endpoints.map get.
That's the version.
Same happened with me, sir.
Yeah, so that is about the version, okay? So my recommendation is start again the pod invites, but choose the right version of the framework, because otherwise you're gonna have this kind of problem. Because what happens is that if we started in a different framework and you change later on, the code doesn't change together. So the code is still reflecting the original framework. If you change, the code doesn't change together. So what you may have is, you may have the code in one version and you change the version, so now they become incompatible.
Conflicting, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Great questions. I'm gonna rejoin the entire group and we're gonna break out in about 2 or 3 minutes, we're gonna break out to go back to the class, okay?
Yeah.
Awesome, great questions.
Thanks,
I love
Professor.
them.
Yeah.
Thank you for the questions. Okay, so I think that's... Can you please confirm that you can hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, Professor.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Okay, great. So I hope that you have been able to work in groups. I was able to jump in a few groups. Sorry, there was a group that asked for my help, but I was helping another group and I didn't have a chance to talk to you. So sorry about that. But now that we are back together, here's what I'd like you to do. I just see one question here. I don't believe that from 24 people that we only have one question. I don't believe that. Again, this is not a very easy subject. I would like to see more questions here. So please put your questions here, put your doubts here on Padlet. In the meantime, I'm gonna run a quick attendance here. If I call your name,
Yes, Mr.
sorry, if I call your name, just put in the chat that you are here. So I take attendance. While I take attendance, just put your questions and I'll address your questions in a second after the attendance. So here we go. Let's see here. So, Andrew is there. Ashik, Asmita is there. Deepika. Okay. Dharmik. Diraj. Philippe.
Yep.
Awesome. Gurneet. Gurneet, I don't see you. Hansel. Harry Zoe. Hossein. Harry is there. Hansel is there. Okay, Hossein is there. Harry Zul, I don't see you, Harry. Jangjit is there. Jayton is there as well. John is there. Mary Christine. Minu, are you around? Parwinder Prablin. Parwinder is there. Prablin is there as well. Minu, Raul, Rashikia Wilson, Ritesh is there. Rashikia, Samira, Sanchit. Okay, Sanchit is there. Samira is there. Raul, I still don't see you. Sanjib is there. Sayed Ali Reza. So, Shivanj. Siranjit. Sorab is there. Shivanj. Siran, okay. Sirandit, Surab. Steven and Theory, you're there. Theory, Christine. Okay, Steven Huang. I don't see you, Steven. Siran Sahota, Siran, I don't see you. Shivanj and Moezi, Siedali Reza. I don't see you. Okay. Okay, so I think that I get everyone. Wait, so I see some questions here. I see someone wants to share your screen. So I don't have, so probably I don't have the same application layout as yours. May I share, screen share and show? Okay, so Prablin, if you want, let me start with this. If you want to share your screen, I can have a look. I think that I may have to stop my screen share so you can share your screen. Do you want to give this a try, Prablin? Let me know. Okay, so I'm gonna pause my screen share and I think that you should be able to share your screen. Let me see here. Stop screen share. Okay, so give it a try, Prablin.
Sir, it says that host disabled participant screen sharing.
Okay, so let me see how I can fix that. Okay, who can share all participants? Okay. All participants. Okay, so you should be able to share now, Prablin.
Yeah, may I start?
Yes, you can start, okay?
Are you able to see?
Okay, so let me just move this so that I can pick up here. Okay, so I can see it. Yep.
Sir, actually the two videos that you told us to go through, I did go to the first one, but I could not make it to the point.
Okay.
It's like now, right here, in the home folder, I'm supposed to add a view.
Okay, so go to ads.
But when I click on add and then view, this is where I mean to go.
Okay.
But this is being shown.
That's okay. That's okay. That's fine. So here you can select. That's okay. You can select empty view. That's fine. Click there.
Empty one.
Yeah. Click the first one. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Add.
Now here's the thing. Don't worry about this. You can just click on add now.
Okay.
And that's fine. This is okay because in the end, a view is just a text file that has a special extension. It has the extension CS HTML. So from here, you can type anything you want. You can type stuff here. So again, even though it may not be bringing some default content for you, but you can just use that content and type in here. That's fine.
Fine, sir.
Okay.
Also, it's like, what happened that when I was trying to add a file, yours was saying that the type is ASP.NET Core, but mine was saying that the type is of Visual C#. Is it okay or is it different?
Okay, do you want to try it again? Because I would like to see it in action. So maybe you're gonna be.
I think it was when the folder. No, not when the folder.
Maybe try to add a new project. Maybe from scratch a project.
Yeah, I just do it.
Okay.
When I click on new, this is where I need to go, and then click on this one.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Now I'm just going to make it for the 4th time, sir.
That's fine. That's fine. Keep going.
Party invites 4.
No problem.
Then create and then I have to select empty. This one.
Yes. Select empty and uncheck HTTPS.
Okay, fine. I have to uncheck this.
Yes.
I didn't do it.
That's okay. It's not a big deal, but it should make things a little bit easier. Okay.
Yeah. Now I have to go to the startup. I have to delete this one.
Correct.
And then after use MV save default route, and then I have to call it from the services.
Okay, so what are you trying to show me?
Sir, it's like when I think when I was trying to add I think when I was trying to add controller, this is where it was not happening. Let me just add one folder.
Okay.
There's controllers. And here I need to add new item, right?
Yeah, you can add new item. And
Yeah,
then it has to be a
here.
class. Yes, yes. So it's a C# class. That's fine. That's okay.
Okay, because in yours it was written, the type was written as ASP.NET Core.
Okay,
Yes.
maybe something else was selected there, but a controller is just a class. That's fine. You're doing fine.
Okay, I was just confused here because your type was...
That's okay, because here's the thing. Here's the thing. That video was recorded with Visual Studio 2017. If you are using 2019, you're gonna see things slightly different. So again, sometimes don't get so much caught up on the small little nitty-gritty details. If you are progressing and if things are working, keep moving forward, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is that it?
Yeah, done.
Awesome, awesome, perfect. So let me share my screen again.
Thank you, sir.
No problem, my pleasure. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, so let's have a look at a few questions that have been posted. So let's go top to bottom here. So what is tag helper and view bag? Okay, so let's have a look at that. So tag helper, and I'm gonna open Visual Studio and the code's right here. So there is a tag helper that gets added, that you have to get to add, and am I sharing screen? Yes. To the view imports file. So view imports file is a special type of view. It has this special name underscore view imports. By the way, a lot of things with MVC, .NET Core, C# is done via standard name from naming conventions. For instance, if you name a file, a view, as underscore view imports, that's whatever you put here inside I'm missing the word right now. The directives. This is a directive. So whatever directives you put inside of this file, it gets automatically added to any view that you create underneath the views folder. So it's just a way, the view imports, just a way that you can save typing this line on every single view. You type it once, it gets applied to all views. So I'm just explaining what is the underscore view imports. Now, does file name matters in this case? Sanchit, yes. Yes, that's what I'm saying. A lot of what happens in MVC, C#, .NET Core is via naming conventions. So yes, the file has to be called underscore view imports. With this name, its content gets imported automatically to every single view inside the views folder. Okay? That's one of the many standards. Go ahead.
Is that okay to add extra things there in that page? Apart from that, like, I don't know, something that can be used to all of views at the same time?
Okay, so in the view imports, we're just gonna add directives. Now, later, we're gonna see how we can share some other parts of codes through the views as well. So here, again,
like layout?
Yes, like layout, like a layout, or like there is another one, like code blocks as well. So there will be different places to share different things. This one here is just about sharing directives, sharing namespaces, and you're gonna see more of that as we go along. But again, it's not done to share everything. It shares a few
sir,
things.
I have one question. Sir, what did this directive do to basically why it use this?
Okay, I'm gonna get there. So now that's my next step here. So let's see. So this directive it's like I'm importing a library. I'm importing the tag helpers. What is a tag helper? Well, let's have a look at the index file. In my version here, I'm already using something called tag helpers. ASP-action is not a regular HTML attribute. It's a special attribute that is actually a tag helper. When this runs, and I can even run that now. Let's have a look here. So when I run this, if I look at the code, the tag helper that was used was this one here. It gets converted automatically to href. Sorry, I'm just trying to increase the size. href equals to /home/ISVP form. So this tag helper automates some of the attribute creation for us. Okay, so if we don't use this, we cannot use tag helpers like ASP-action. Another place here in the form, we have ASP4. It's another tag helper. It's only available if we import the tag helper. Let me show you this. If I delete tag helper from here, if I delete this and save, if I go back there to index, look, ASP-action is no longer a special tag. It's just a regular tag. You see, it changed from a bold purple to this red regular tag here. It's no longer recognized as a special tag helper. So,
sir, it's like a header file we are using in the every view so to make our easy code.
Correct. It's just a way to make it easier for us to create tags. That's why it's called a tag helper. It helps us to put together, to use some special tags, to create actions, to use for, again, another action here. Here is another one. All those purple, bold attributes, they are all called tag helpers. They come from this library here. So that's what it is. Does it make sense? Note here. So suppose we want to add a header to all. Okay, so that's a different one. So essentially, to your point there, if you want to add a header to all views, there is another place to add that. It's not in the view imports. It's using a layout. Okay, we're gonna talk about that a little bit later, but it's via a layout. Okay, great. So moving forward here. So view bag, you can think of it as a bag of objects that you can use this bag to transfer information from the controller to the view. So look, we are using the view bag right here. Look, view bag.greeting. So we are populating the greeting string, okay? And we're gonna call this greeting in the view. So in the index, we have viewBag.greeting. This is filled by the controller in this line. So viewBag is just an easy way when you want to send little pieces of information from the controller to the view without using a model. Okay? But again, more about that a little bit later. For now, you can think of it, okay, it's a temporary place that I can put objects from the controller or variables from the controller to the view. It's just that. Just that. Okay?
Sir, it is just basically sending like one of the objects, either good morning or the good afternoon to the another view class.
In our case, yes, but you can have any number of scenarios that you may want to use that, because by standards, the way that a controller sends information to a view is via the at model at the very top. But if you restrict the communication of controller to view by only using this, you might want to send some other information as well. And you can do that by using the view bag. View bag is another way to send information from the controller to the view. And again, we're going to be exploring this more as we go along. By the way, nothing that we are talking about here will be the last time that you hear that. As I said before, we're going to go deeper into every single subject that we are covering here today. The idea of par invites is just a general and quick overview of how to put MVC together, okay? Andrew, is that lambda expression? Okay, lambda expression. This is not lambda, okay, Andrew? Don't get confused with this greater than symbol here. This is just a comparison, okay? We're just saying, if hour is less than 12, put good morning. If not, put good afternoon. Lambda is a good point. And actually, we're going to be talking about lambda and a few more features next week, okay? Hold that thought there, Andrew. We're going to talk about lambda next week, okay? Great. Okay, so let's...
Hello, sir, one doubt.
Yeah.
So like you told, like, can you tell me what difference between the model and view bag, like we used in the model we defined in the...
Okay, can you just ask this again?
Sir, like the view bag is like the model it stored giving the information like to the another view class. So why we use the model?
Okay. So here's the thing. The view bag is just a quick second. Okay, sorry about that. So, okay, so let me step back for a second. I'm gonna go back here to the model and to the view bag. Okay, so I'm not gonna get too deep into this right now because again, we don't have enough time to cover this the way it's gonna be covered a little bit later. But just keep one thing in mind. You can use both ways. You can use both ways to send information from the controller to the view. However, I would say that the more appropriate way is by using a model. A model, you're gonna be sending and binding. Actually, the right term is binding. You're gonna be binding the view to that particular object in the model. So it's how would I say? It's a more comprehensive way to send information from the controller to the view. The view bag, it's almost like, oh, you know what? I also need this little information here. It's not let's put it this way. When you have via the model, you attach very important information to the view. With the view bag, you add a few bits and pieces of information to the view. It's not very important. I mean, greeting, well, you may say that's important, you may say that's not important, but it's just a little piece of information. With the view bag, you usually don't send a lot of information to the view from the view bag. We only send a little bit, some things that you were not able to send via the model. So I think that's a good place to put it. If there is anything extra that you want to send to the view that you could not send via the model, you can send via the view bag. Okay? But again, I understand if this is a bit confusing. We're gonna get into more of that a little bit later in the course. But for now, think about this. Model is very important data. View bag, not so much. It's just little pieces and bits of information that you could not send via the existing model. Again, it might be confusing, but hold on that thought, and we're gonna cover that more a little bit later. Any follow-up?
Got it, sir. Thank you.
Awesome. I see, let me see, before we wrap it up, actually I need to jump to another class in a second. Let's see here. So I talk about view imports already. Studio version, Visual Studio, I'm using 2019. You can use 2017 if you want. The key thing is use .NET Core 2.1. Having a Visual Studio problem. If you are having Visual Studio problems, make sure that you start your project again using the correct version, 2.1 of the framework. All of this gets solved if you use the correct version. Don't change afterwards. After you are done creating the project, don't change to another version. It's gonna cause this kind of problem here. You have to start from scratch with the correct version. The imports, ESP4, I mentioned this. ESP4 are tag helpers. It's tag helpers, okay? ESP4. And can we rename action method index of the controller? You can rename. However, the default action is called index. So if you rename, your application will stop working once you try to run it. Because the default controller is called home, the default action is called index. If you change them, it try to run, you're gonna have a problem there. Anyway, everyone, that's it for now. Let me see if I have anything else to quickly mention. I'll see all of you tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'll talk about the first assignment. Tomorrow, I'll talk about bonus 3. This is not for tomorrow. I don't need to talk about this today. It's for tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to follow up. Unfortunately, I'm not free for 5 minutes right now. I have to jump into another class in 5 minutes, okay? So if you need to talk to me, send me an email. We can book time. Right now, I have to jump to another class, unfortunately, okay? Have a good one, everyone. Great to see you all. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.